Okay, so let's go over this quiz. All right, which of the following is a nutrient of concern for older adults? Okay, so this one is going to be fiber. Okay, the rest of them are not listed as dietary concerns. Which of the following lifestyle approaches / diets is recommended for long-term healthy weight maintenance? All right, so A should be keto diet. Okay, so this answer would be both B and C. Okay, so Mediterranean diet and DASH diet are considered lifestyle approaches for long-term weight maintenance. Which of the following is not a component of the MIND diet? So all these, we want whole grains, berries, beans as high fiber carbs. That's a yes. Consume greater servings of fish compared to red meat. Yes. Limit fried / fast food. Yes. Nothing ever said anything about limiting carbohydrate consumption to under 100 grams daily. That's something I probably wouldn't recommend. I usually like seeing my patients around 130 baseline. Definitely need to be watching carbs in the case of diabetes and healthy weight, but not to that great of a restriction. We want, again, diets that are sustainable. All right, fill in the blank. A hypoglycemic blood sugar is defined as a blood sugar reading below, I believe it says 70 milligrams per deciliter. Let's go back to our hypoglycemia. Below 70. Okay. True or false? A person has impaired glucose tolerance, potential pre-diabetes if fasting glucose is 100 milligrams per deciliter or higher. That is true. Okay. So impaired. And then again, if we can diagnose for diabetes at 126 milligrams per deciliter or higher consistently. A doctor has to do that though. How often should a person with diabetes check blood sugars? 3 to 4 times a day. We talked about 4 times a day, making sure that we check before meals and after meals. I recommend doing it 1 when you just wake up, 1 before you go to bed, 2 within 2 hours after a meal. We talked about the postprandial, want to keep that below 180 to 2 hours after a meal. So that would be kind of a good rule of thumb. How many grams per pound of body weight of protein should be consumed for older adults? That was the 0.5 to 0.8. That was the point in the video where I was taking my weight of 145 and multiplying it by 0.8. List 3 recommendations below for eating with dentures. So we talked about recommendations for dentures, starting introductions of food slowly, chewing evenly. We want to be careful with liquids. We want to cut food into smaller bite-sized pieces. Be mindful of tough foods and be careful of sticky foods. Okay, fill out the FAST acronym. That is the acronym used to spot stroke. So remember face, we talked about the droopy, uneven face from one side to the other. Arms, one arm might be limp compared to another. S is going to be our speech, so speech difficulty, can't talk, and then time, making sure that we're contacting that 911 or medical professional quickly and efficiently. Referring to the transitional foods list for chewing and swallowing difficulties, above what level should a patient not be served solid foods? So to go back to that, remember I talked about no foods allowed above level 5. Okay, so that answer would have been E. Yes, that answer would have been E. Question 11, referring to the transitional food / drink list for chewing and swallowing difficulties, below what level should a patient not be served liquids? Below what level? The answer is C, level 2. If we go back to our sheet, it said no drinks allowed below level 2. Okay. Question 12. Which of the following is not a government assistance program for food access for older adults? We talked about SNAP and food stamps. Yes, that's one. Child and Adult Care Food Program. That's one. WIC, Women, Infants, Children. So that's typically used with pregnant women. So that would be the one that would be the answer. And it's not a government assistance program for food access for older adults in particular. The Commodity Supplemental Food Program is also a program that can be utilized for older adults. To receive Meals on Wheels assistance, a person must be 59 years old or older. Okay, this is the final question I was going to talk about. This is what I want you guys to now fill out after I leave you guys and finish up. So we want to list 2 self-care or health goals you have for yourself. We want these to be SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, and realistic, and also measured in a time-bound period. So I kind of narrowed this down for you already. I want you to come up with 2 goals to which you can achieve in 6 months. So an example would be for yourself, I want to lower my blood sugar, or I want to lower my hemoglobin A1C by X amount of points in 6 months. I'm going to measure this by going to my doctor's appointment in 3 and 6 months and seeing if those numbers go down or not, according to the amount that I want it down. We could apply the same to cholesterol. We could apply the same thing to weight. We could maybe make this a sleep goal. I want to sleep a minimum of 7 hours consistently every night for the next 6 months. I'm going to set an alarm. I'm going to work on shutting down and committing to limited screen time before bed, and I'm going to really try to make that a priority. So come up with 2 goals, 2 SMART goals, and be ready to turn this in and discuss with your group. Thanks for completing this training. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. My services are free to any and all Warren County residents and employees. So anything nutrition, exercise, wellness related, I would love to help you. Your employers have my contact information, and they are free to share that with you. Thanks everyone, and best of luck.